Have you ever wondered if finding true happiness comes from achieving big milestones or living a picture perfect life? For me, the answer came from something much, much simpler: finding joy in the little things. Today, I would love to share with you how I find immense joy living my simple, everyday life and how you can too. My name is Matilda, and welcome to the Womanly Corner. Here, we celebrate slow living, womanhood, and personal growth. I have spent the majority of my life always chasing something more: a new goal, a new achievement. And I would often tell myself phrases such as, once I have this thing, then I'll be happy. Once I achieve this goal, then I will be at peace with myself. But spoiler alert, I was never able to catch the joy that I was so desperately chasing over and over. There is a lot of societal pressure to live a bigger and better life. We see it everywhere. It's so accessible to us. We open our phones and we see multimillionaires, celebrities, people with multi-million dollar homes or not having to work a 9 to 5 to get by. And so it's really easy to get stuck into this cycle of always wanting more: a bigger car, a better job, a bigger house. And we get into this mentality of always wanting the next thing that we forget to be grateful for what we already have. We forget to look at the present moment, look around and think, I am living how I prayed to be living a couple of months, years ago. Don't get me wrong, it is very good to keep working towards being better and to keep working towards building the life of our dreams. But we have to be happy in the present moment whilst we work for that thing that we're desiring. A lot of us grow up thinking that happiness can only come from those really big achievements, like living a very luxurious lifestyle or having the money to travel all around the world or having your dream job. But somewhere along the way, I realized that living a normal, average life, whatever you want to call it, your typical human life, isn't settling for something. I'm not settling. I'm not, waiting for something bigger to come about. I am happy. This is a wonderful, wonderful life that I'm living. In my life, even though it's average, I get to be around the people that I love. I get to take care of my mind and my body. I get to do my hobbies. I get to enjoy the simple moments. I get to have time to spend by myself. I live with my wonderful partner. I have again, a beautiful family. I love my 9 to 5 job, actually. I love, love, love my job. And, saying it out loud, these things are not small. So even though I'm not living a luxurious lifestyle, even though I don't have, I'm not traveling all of the time, or I don't have some crazy job, this simple life is all that I need. And I could not be happier to be living this life. So once I stopped comparing my life to others, especially on social media, I realized how rich my life actually is. Now I'd love to share some key ways that I find happiness in my everyday life. Firstly, gratitude. I feel like we have to start with gratitude because it is one of the most transformative practices that you can take on. And it is so easy to do. You don't need anything else, just your mind. Gratitude is so simple because you can just sit down and write a couple of things that you're grateful for down, or you can just sit with your thoughts and come up with things that you're grateful for in your head. But at the same time, even though it is simple, it's hard because you have to fake it till you make it. At first, when you sit down and you don't feel that gratefulness, you're going to try and list things that you're somewhat grateful for, but it just won't feel like it's doing anything for you. You just have to keep going. You have to do it every single day. You have to make it a habit, even just a couple of minutes a day. Just sit down and force yourself to be grateful for something. And it could be the same thing every single day. It could be different things that come up in your mind. You have to fake it till you make it. And at some point, magically, your perspective starts to shift. And you won't even realize that this shift is happening. It's just thoughts in your head, but they start to shift. And what I realized in my life is that I started noticing the things that I had instead of the things that I didn't have. I started being grateful for everything that I had in my life already, and I completely fell in love with my mundane, everyday life. Again, I used to force myself into thinking of things that I was grateful for. And now I wake up grateful. And I cannot explain it any other way. It's just, I live a very grateful life. And even in the smallest of moments, I am so grateful. Like, even right now, to be able to be filming this, I'm like filled with joy. Even my cat, you can't see him right now, but he's curled up on the couch next to me taking a nap. And I am just so immensely grateful. Gratitude isn't just a practice, it becomes a way of living. And you will never hear me shut up about this because it's life changing. It constantly reminds you of everything that you have to be grateful for in life, even if you live the most normal life in the world. Mindfulness. Mindfulness has been another one of those things that has changed the way in which I live my life. Mindfulness is all about living in the present moment and enjoying the now, which is so, so tricky when there is so much going on around you all of the time, whether it's at work, at home. But even I found, scrolling on our phones, being on social media, there is so much going on all the time that you forget to check in with yourself and be in the present moment. For me, mindfulness is all about tuning into the moment. And it doesn't have to be anything tricky or anything that you do, for an extended amount of time. It can be a couple of minutes every now and again. For example, if you wake up in the morning and you're having breakfast or you're having a cup of tea or coffee, just enjoying the moment of you drinking that tea or coffee or eating that food, just enjoying the moment, being present in the moment and not focusing your attention on anything else. So, whether I'm going to the gym or I'm reading a book or I'm going for a walk, I try and slow down and live in the present moment. And that brings me so much joy and so much peace because it ties into gratitude a little bit. But by tuning into the present moment, I realize how lucky I am to be living in that present moment or to be doing that action. How lucky I am to be able to go to the gym, how lucky I am to be able to wake up in a house that is safe for me, surrounded by a man that loves me and a beautiful cat. How grateful and how lucky I am to be living such a life and to be having such moments in my everyday life that, there are a lot of people that are not able to experience. When we're mindful, we let go of the past and the future, and we simply enjoy the beauty of the now, which can bring so much peace and so much happiness. Celebrating small victories. Another thing that has brought me so much joy in life is celebrating the small victories or the small wins, because I feel like a lot of the times in life we wait for that big milestone and we don't celebrate the achievements along the way. But I've learned that it's those small wins that really make life rich, and we should be celebrating them. So, again, it ties into a couple of the things that we've talked about already. But for example, having a peaceful morning, right? Like waking up, not being stressed, not stressing about what you're going to be doing in 20 minutes' time or how fast you have to get ready to get to work on time. Peaceful, waking up, going to the kitchen, making yourself a cup of tea, and overall feeling calm before your day begins. That feels like a huge win to me because for a really long time, I was a very anxious person that would wake up at the very last minute before I had to go to work and was always in a bad mood. So, waking up with a smile on my face, in a good mood, and being able to be calm before, starting my day, it is a huge achievement for me, but it's often overlooked. Similarly, and this is very silly, but finishing a crochet project, which I actually don't do as much as I should anymore. So, reminder for myself to get back into crocheting more and doing more, physical hobbies. But finishing a crochet project that I've started is a huge win for me. It's a small thing that doesn't really mean anything in the big world that we live in, but to me it's an accomplishment that should be celebrated because for me personally, I often start a lot of things, don't finish a lot of them. I do have about 3 crochet projects that have been left halfway at the moment. Again, reminder for future me to finish those. But yeah, it doesn't have to be, major accomplishments that we celebrate, like a job promotion or, buying something really expensive like a new car or things of that sort. It can be small things in our everyday life. And celebrating those small things will bring us so much joy because it's a reminder of how much we're accomplishing and how much we're working towards what we desire. and how much we're constantly working to improve ourselves. Because I know for me, I'm on a journey of self improvement always, whether that's my health, fitness, or my mindfulness. I'm always trying to be the best version of myself that I can. And those small little wins add up. And they're a good reminder that we're doing a good job. Finding and doing what brings you joy. Doing hobbies and activities that bring you joy adds so much beauty to life. For example, I love cooking and I have been blessed with a boyfriend that loves eating, so I love to try out new recipes and cook every day. I love crafting, reading, filming YouTube videos, so I try to do these things in my spare time instead of just scrolling on my phone, and that brings me so much joy and it really, I don't know, it makes me happy. No other way that I can explain it, just makes me happy. Another silly example is that I've recently started a health journey. So I've been working out and I've been losing a lot of weight along the way, and I've been changing my habits and routines. So I've stopped doing a lot of the bad things that I was doing before, and I've incorporated new healthy habits into my life, which is could be a whole other video, and it has completely changed my life and I'm so happy. And it is probably a major bonus on how I feel the way that I feel every single day and why I'm so happy. But as part of this, I started to love physical exercise. So I truly enjoy going to the gym or going for a walk, especially walks. I love walks. And because I love walks or physical exercise, I make sure to do it daily. So do the things that you love daily. We often let so much time run away from us because we are on our phones or scrolling social media. It makes time go faster and it makes us feel like years are just running away from us. Time is just flying. So I encourage you to slow down and do things that you enjoy doing. It doesn't have to be big things. It doesn't have to be expensive things. It can just be, reading, writing, hanging out with friends. Make sure that every day you're doing something that you enjoy and you'll see that happiness rise up. So, let's talk about some actions that you can take away from today's video and start implementing into your life today, right now, after you click out of this. Some actions that you can start implementing into your life today to find that joy and find that happiness in your everyday life, in your mundane, average life. Start practicing gratitude. So, like we were talking about before, this can look however you want it to look. A lot of people do a gratitude journal. I don't do well with gratitude journals. I've tried it in the past. It doesn't work for me. I simply don't use it. I forget to. I don't care enough to sit down and write down, in a gratitude journal, things that I'm grateful for. But that does work for a lot of people. So trial and error. It can be a gratitude journal. What worked for me personally was checking in with myself a couple of times a day. So this, you can actually set an alarm for this to start off before you get into the habit of doing it. But eventually you will just get into the habit of, oh, actually it will just pop into your head and you'll go, oh, actually, yep, gratitude time. And you sit there, it takes zero point 0.2 seconds and you just come up with a couple of things that you're grateful for. This does not have to be anything like major or anything crazy. It can be very, very simple things. I think it's better if it's simple things because, again, your everyday things that are part of your everyday life. But some things that I'd be grateful for that come to mind right now is my cat. I'm very grateful for my cat. I'm very grateful for my boyfriend. I'm very grateful because the sun is out today and it's been a very, very quiet and nice day, which I really enjoy. If I was at work, I might have thought, I'm grateful for the iced coffee that I'm drinking. I'm grateful for this thing that happened at work or this thing that didn't happen at work. It can be literally anything, but that's what worked for me, checking in with myself a couple of times a day. And like I said at the beginning of this video, sometimes at the start, well, most of the time, all the time at the start, it feels like you are faking it because you have to fake it till you make it. You might come up with things that you're somewhat happy about in life, like, yep, I am grateful that I have a car and I was able to drive to work today, but you don't actually feel it. You don't feel the gratitude and immense joy that comes with that. I promise the more you do it and the more you practice, the more you don't have to fake it anymore. The more it just naturally comes. At some point, and I don't know how, but at some point, it became so natural to me to just be grateful that I no longer had to sit there and think, oh, yep, it's gratitude time. I have to check in with myself. It would naturally happen. For example, instead of thinking, Oh, yes, I am very grateful for this iced coffee that I'm drinking. I wouldn't have to check in with myself anymore. It would just naturally come to me. So I would go out, purchase my iced coffee, and as I grabbed it from the cashier, I would think, how good that I get to drink a coffee today. I'm very grateful about this. And then the thought would just pass. And it would be just a thought. It became like a thought like any other thought. And then I started having them a lot more often throughout the day. And then it became that almost every single interaction that I had some sort of gratitude to it without even realizing. And all of a sudden, I was a very, very happy person. It is amazing and unbelievable how great the human brain is. So you might have to fake it at the start, but I promise you it's life changing, and it will just come naturally at some point. Finding beauty in simplicity. This is something that you can put to action right now. Find beauty in something that you are doing right now. For example, watching this video. To truly embrace the mundane, you have to find beauty in the simple things around you, in the simple things of life. Look for the small things in life that you may otherwise overlook. For example, I know a lot of people say this, but the sound of rain, when it's raining, try and tune in and appreciate how pretty it sounds. For me, a couple of things that come to mind could be filling my water bottle, the sound of the dishwasher, like going, like when it's finished, like that beep. I love it. Hearing that go off and knowing, like, oh, I get to put it away now. Like, it's just, I don't know. Or my partner in the garage. When I like thinking about the sound of hearing him working on something in the garage makes me happy, because I know that, I don't know, it's just beautiful to me because I know that he's enjoying his time. When you start noticing the little things, it makes ordinary things seem extraordinary, and it really shines beauty on your everyday life. You'll begin to realize that life doesn't have to be extravagant or luxurious to be fulfilling. It's already filled with so much joy and so much beauty. Embrace slower living. Another tip or another action that you can do today is to embrace a slower pace. We live in a very fast paced world. We're constantly rushing through life. So, slowing down and enjoying the moment is really, really helpful when it comes to happiness. Slowing down can help you to enjoy the present moment more fully. I really recommend to schedule in some like slowing down times throughout the day where you slow down and you focus on just be, just being in the moment, noticing the moment, and enjoying the moment. An example of this is, instead of rushing to bed, take some time to do things slowly. Enjoy your routine before bed. Give yourself permission to slow down and enjoy what's around you. Again, like we were talking about for gratitude and a couple of other points that I've mentioned, this will come naturally. You have to fake it till you make it at the start, but eventually you'll start slowing down without having to schedule in times to do so. It will just become a habit and a routine and just something that you do. And lastly, celebrate small wins. Like we talked about before, don't just celebrate the big achievements, the big milestones. Celebrate the little things that you achieve throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month. And when you realize that you start to be grateful without having to check in, or live slower without having to schedule in slow living times, be so happy and celebrate, because that's a big win. But if you don't consider that a big win, it is a little win that you should absolutely celebrate. So I can't wait to see you all succeed, and I can't wait to see you all happy. To wrap it up, remember that happiness isn't found in chasing perfections or big achievements. It's about cherishing the life that you already have and seeing the beauty in everything that already surrounds you. Once your mindset has this shift, you will see and you will find so much happiness in your everyday life. I am telling you, like, I'm a completely different person. I wake up with a smile on my face. I go to sleep with a smile on my face. It doesn't matter how many bad things happen to me throughout the day. I am happy because I am very grateful to be living the life that I do, even if it is a very normal, mundane, everyday life. I would love to hear from you. What are some small things that bring you joy or happiness in life? Please feel free to share them in the comment section below. I would love to connect with you. And of course, if you enjoyed today's video, please do not forget to like and subscribe to join me here on the Womanly Corner for more cozy and inspiring content. Thank you so much for joining me today. I cannot wait to see you next time.